I will be presenting on sports betting. Have you guys ever had a moment when you've said, wow, I just won? Have you ever felt that excitement when you have won a bet? Well, those are great moments. Sports betting can bring that feeling if it would expand to every state. And this doesn't necessarily have to mean that I'm talking about a sports book. I could be talking about, betting in general, with a family member or with a friend. So sports betting can become really fun if it doesn't become an addiction. Make sure to always gamble responsibly and make sure that, you wager only what it's okay for you to lose. Don't wager more because that's how, an addiction starts to happen. You start betting more and more and more, and then, you just can't control it. So according to a report on sports betting that I read, it said that it increased the excitement of games. Sports betting increased the excitement of games because significantly more people will care about the sport, and it would increase its popularity in both this country and outside. So we're considering that the as sports betting is happening, as people start betting in sports, these sports start, going up in ratings and all these games that people watch and everything. That's why sports betting is, one of the biggest markets out there because there are, so much money going into these, casinos and sports books that, have that have that sports market. And so my point is to prove 3 points as to why sports betting should be legalized in every US state. So legalization. The Supreme Court effectively legalized commercial sports betting in the United States. As of this month, 35 states and the District of Columbia have authorized the practice in some form, with Massachusetts becoming the latest state to do so in August. And then, despite the growth of commercial sports betting in the wake of the Supreme Court's 2018 ruling, the most common way that Americans bet on sports is with friends or family. So, like I said previously, um, it doesn't necessarily mean you going to a casino or, going to a sports book or even betting on your phone or whatever. Simply, sports betting has been popular, even if it's with a friend or with a family member. And so, right here on the right side, I picked out a graph, which it was a report conducted this year uh, in July that had said that betting with friends and family is the most common reported form of sports gambling in the United States. And so right here we have the percentages of and people, you know, on what they have bet on. So friends and family, they're a 15%. And people that go onto a casino, that'd be like a 8%. And then people, betting on a betting app or a sports book, then that's a 6%. And then any of the above, 19%. So we're seeing a lot of people, not necessarily bet in a sports book, but, bet within each other. And then on the left side, I have a graph here that shows how many legal states, how many states have legalized sports betting already. And we are up to 31 states. So this graph shows 31 states legally yet. And then there's some key states here that are still to, be legalized. So that law hasn't passed, like Texas and California, that are pretty big states. And so, yeah. Opportunities, wagering. The most obvious potential reward of sports betting is the financial one. The chance of winning money will always be attractive. However, money is not the only reward that sports betting has to offer. it can be entertaining and a lot of fun, and it can provide you with a deep sense of satisfaction too. So, on wagering, you're always more attentive to sports when you're watching because, it's more exciting for you. It's like double the excitement when you're watching, especially a favorite team, and you have money on that team. Then obviously the game and the experience would be so much more fun, especially if you would win your bet. Because if you don't win your bet, then technically it's still a bad day. Another reason, being a sports fanatic. Betting on the games makes you more passionate about the sport. That makes you follow it more. As I said, making you gain more knowledge about the sport. So gaining more knowledge into the sport gives you a good advantage when you're choosing your picks in your bet. So this goes for whatever, if you're betting on a sports book, like I said, in a casino, or if you're betting with the friends or family. If you start watching these sports and if you're wagering, you know, on these games, that means that's because you're following the games. So um you would have more knowledge, and I think you would have like an advantage if you're facing, most likely, like a family member or a friend, because sports books, that's what they do. So you probably won't have more knowledge in a sports book because that's what they're dedicated to. And a quote from the University of Texas in Austin, it says, watching live sports is fun, but wagering on the game can increase the entertainment value. Many people find they become more engaged and interested in the action when they have placed a bet. They are now invested in the game and feel more involved, and they share more in the experience. And this is true because for me personally, when I watch a game and I have a bet or something, it makes it more fun because you're more attentive to the team or to the player that you want to win, and it just makes it more fun when you're watching a sport event. And to conclude, I have shared with you 3 points as to why sports betting should be legalized in all U.S. states. Legalization, opportunities, and becoming a sports fanatic are all reasons as to why legal action should be made. And then sports betting is very popular, and it is the biggest market when it comes to gambling, and it's always being promoted on TV, stadiums, ads, radios, etc. So now that I have spoken to you about it, would you consider wagering on your favorite team or sport? And if you do, always gamble responsibly. Thank you.